So, welcome to episode 2. We're not going to get into the ship in this episode. First thing we're going to do is we are going to make this workshop. The workshop, I looked at it and I looked at the tools that I'm going to use for the ship. There's going to be an awful lot of tools that are possibly quite unique to building ships. So I've decided to buy this just to get myself more organised. And the other thing I may not use, but I think it may possibly come in handy. We have this paint organizer, which it actually slides into the workstation, workshop as they call it. So I'm actually showing you the bits in this view because they're just so large. They basically come as a big pack. And as you can see, I'll just change my light. And there's some nice little plastic trays in there. There's a couple of little metal fastenings, but on the whole, it's wood. So the tools that I'm going to need are my little craft knife and some wood glue. And yeah, we'll crack on with that build. So all I can say to that is wow, that was actually a really good introduction to what I'm going to be doing. I haven't done a lot of wood gluing. Now on that particular project it didn't make a difference, but I was a little bit slapdash with the wood glue, and in places it made a mess. That's absolutely fine for this, because obviously we're just building a workstation. If I was to do that with the glue with the actual model, it's going to look an absolute mess. So I've come away from that with a lesson learned. So let's have a look at the finished product. It's actually rather quite light, because it's all made with bits of plywood, but I'm really happy with it. You've got a top tray, you've got these little supports which you can position, and then you can put a ship's hull on there. You've got, this is obviously an optional extra, but this is a little paint station that pulls out, and that fits really nice. That is definitely made to measure. At the back there's a little tool station. I can't quite understand how it's going to work, because in the picture they put tools in and they hang there, but there's no bottom support, so I guess you've got to have like a slanted handle or a little stick out bit, but that's fine. You've got a top shelf here, 1 2 3 4 5 drawers, and these drawers are quite nice. I don't know if you can see that, but you have one large section and 9 small sections, so obviously you multiply that by 5. That's quite a lot of sections you've got. And looking at some of the parts we're getting for the Hermione, I think that they're going to be put to full use. You've got a wooden drawer here which is quite deep. That's useful. Now I don't own one yet, but this part here is apparently just big enough for an A4 cutting mat. I don't have an A4 cutting mat because I've got 2 A2s, but I might actually invest in one. You've got a little bit on the side here, and this is just right for instructions and any small bits that you might want to put in there. Kind of looks like a magazine holder on the side, doesn't it? And then on the side you've got similar thing, but you can put tools in there. In the example videos they've put a saw. So yeah, that's it guys. I'm really happy with it. Like I say, there are parts that look a little bit scruffy because of the way I glued, but it's perfectly okay for the workstation. There's also a couple of bits where perhaps I could have flipped the wood round the other way, because there's a little number showing, but that's just aesthetics. I did dry fit every single part, and if you were to build this, I would advise you doing the same, because quite often you've got parts and you go to fit them and they won't fit. So obviously if you've put loads of wood glue all over it and then you go to fit it and you realise it's wrong, you've got glue stuck to it. I did use super glue in some places where I wanted the glue to set quicker. That probably wasn't the best thing to do. It's worked fine. These I know have been stuck with super glue, and I don't know if you can hear it, but when you move it, use this one, if you put any pressure on it you can hear it cracking, because obviously like the super glue goes quite brittle. It was perhaps a little bit of impatience, but what I have found is I could probably have used more clamps, probably 6, in most cases 4 clamps, 2 going across and 2 going up and down, and there were a couple of places where I thought 6 clamps would have been handy, but these aren't cheap. I managed with 2. I probably could have managed with none, but obviously the more you have, the easier the job is. So yeah, it's but yeah, as I say, with each stage, they've laid them out quite simply, which that's not the instructions, that's instructions for something else. So I'm happy with the instructions, but another thing that I've learned is don't expect to finish one part of the instructions in one sitting. Quite often what I've done is I've had each section of the video that deals with one set of instructions, that might be 2, 3, even 4 parts, because quite often what might happen is you'll glue a little bit in and then you want to leave it about 15 minutes. The glue doesn't need to set fully, but it just needs to sort of develop the tackiness. Otherwise you're kind of doing a balancing act. So yeah, that I'm really happy with that. So next week we will start on the Hermione. I'll do the unboxing, and I think what I'll do, looking at it now, I was a little bit worried about stage 1. You obviously you can't see this from here, but stage 1 of Hermione is to take two pieces, glue them together with a stiffener, and then you put in lots of cross sections in. My original plan was I'll put them together, I'll glue the bit in, and then we'll put all the cross sections in, and that will probably do stage 1. That's stage 1 and 1/1. I think what I'll do next week, we'll start off with a quick unboxing, and then I'll just put together just the part of the hull with the stiffeners. That will then give the glue much more time to dry. Ideally you want 24 hours for the glue to dry. So if we put that together with the unboxing, we'll then get ready to get stuck in with episode 4 we're now going to be up to. So some of you might be disappointed that I'm not actually starting the ship until episode 4. However, I think with all this preparation that we're doing, obviously the unveiling of the project is always, or as I call it, episode 0. I like to release a video the week before to say this is what's coming, get all the taste buds going, and then obviously this is the first one. This is the preparation. So I've got a load of tools that I've been buying. I've still got some left to come, should be here within the next week. So yeah, that's it then, guys. So we're going to have a nice peaceful build every Tuesday now, where we're just going to do a little bit of woodworking, and yeah, I mean, it's just going to have a little chill out. So thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Please like, share, subscribe if you feel I deserve that. Otherwise, just enjoy the videos. I hope you can. Okay, take care then. Bye bye.